My best friend of 15 years convinced me to invest $94,000 in her revolutionary company. I believed every word. I transferred my life savings, my emergency fund, even the money I'd saved from my divorce. 3 months later, I discovered it was a classic pyramid scheme. Patricia pocketed $15,000 in commission from my money while I lost everything. When I confronted her, she pretended to be a victim too. But I'm an accountant. I knew where to look. I found messages from her admitting she knew about the scheme from the beginning. I sued. The judge awarded me $240,000. She declared bankruptcy and lost her house. This is the story of how my friend destroyed her own life trying to destroy mine. I met Patricia in college. She was studying business administration. I was studying accounting. We were opposites. Me, conservative and planned. Her, impulsive and a dreamer. But it worked. 15 years of true friendship. We were each other's bridesmaids, spent countless late nights talking, cried together when my marriage ended. In 2022, I was rebuilding my life at 42 years old. The divorce was amicable but devastating. I was left with $94,000 from selling the house, my fresh start, my security. As an accountant, I knew the value of that money. I invested conservatively in index funds, nothing risky. Patricia always had unstable jobs in sales. She changed companies every year, always promising that this time would be different. I never judged. I helped financially a few times. Small loans she always paid back. In March 2023, she called me euphoric. She said she'd found the opportunity of her lifetime. A disruptive investment company that promised returns of 30% per quarter. She was making thousands recruiting investors. She showed bank statements, photos at the company's luxurious events, video testimonials. I hesitated. It seemed too good to be true. But Patricia insisted. Laura, you're my best friend. I would never put you at risk. I invested everything I have myself. Trust me, like I've always trusted you. That phrase broke me. I remembered all the times she'd been by my side. I thought, if my friend of 15 years is this confident, it must be real. It was the biggest mistake of my life. I transferred the $94,000 in April 2023. Patricia celebrated as if she'd won the lottery. She took me to dinner at an expensive restaurant, paid for by the company. She introduced me to her mentor, a 50-year-old man with a gold watch and rehearsed speech about financial freedom. The first few weeks were a dream. I received a return of $2,000 in the first month. Patricia called me daily to celebrate. She encouraged me to recruit other people. The more investors you bring in, the bigger your returns. Something bothered me. As an accountant, I understood numbers. I requested the company's financial statements. Patricia laughed. Laura, you're so uptight. This isn't a traditional company. It's a community of investors. Trust. That word again. Trust. In the second month, my return didn't come. Patricia assured me it was a temporary reorganization. In the third month, the company's website went down. I panicked. I called Patricia 15 times. She ignored them all. Finally, she responded by text. Laura, I also lost money. We were deceived together. I'm just as devastated as you are. Something didn't add up. She kept posting photos at expensive restaurants, designer handbags, trips. If she'd lost as much as she claimed, how was she maintaining that lifestyle? I didn't sleep for 3 nights straight. I broke into cold sweats. Trembled when checking my bank account. $94,000. Gone. My security, my fresh start, my dignity, all evaporated. Marina, our mutual friend, called me on the 4th night. Laura, I need to tell you something. Patricia tried to recruit me into this company 6 months ago. I researched it and discovered it was a classic pyramid scheme. I warned her. You know what she said? I know, Marina, but I'm making a lot of money. Just don't tell anyone. My blood ran cold. Do you have proof of that? I have screenshots of the conversations. That night, I made a decision. If Patricia knew from the beginning, she wasn't a victim. She was an accomplice. She was a criminal. And I was going to prove it. I started investigating. As an accountant, I knew how to examine financial trails. I requested all the documents from the company that Patricia had given me. I looked for inconsistencies, and I found them. The contracts had basic errors, numbers that didn't add up. Impossible to fulfill promises. Anyone with minimal financial knowledge would identify the fraud. And Patricia had worked in sales for 20 years. She understood numbers well enough to know this was fake. I dug deeper. I discovered that Patricia recruited 19 people. The commission structure was clear in the documents. She made $15,200 just from my investment, and another $60,000 total from all her recruits, $75,000. She pocketed $75,000 knowing it was fraud. I confronted her in person. I set up a coffee meeting, acted natural, recorded the conversation on my phone, legal in my state. Patricia, how are you dealing with the financial loss? She sighed dramatically. I'm destroyed, Laura. I lost everything. My life is over. How much did you invest again? $50,000. Lie. From the documents Marina gave me and from public records, Patricia only invested $5,000, a symbolic amount to appear committed. And you didn't know it was a pyramid scheme? Of course not. I was deceived too? That was the opening I needed. So you never received any warning? Nobody alerted you? Never. If someone had warned me, I never would have gotten involved. Perfect. She explicitly lied, and I had proof to the contrary. I left that coffee shop and went straight to a lawyer. Dr. Henrique specialized in financial fraud. I showed him everything. The documents, Marina's screenshots, the recorded conversation, the commission trails. He analyzed in silence for 20 minutes. Finally, he looked up. You have a solid case. This isn't just breach of trust. It's conscious fraud. I'll take your case. The lawsuit was filed in August 2023. We sued Patricia individually for fraud, false declaration, and emotional damages. I didn't sue the company because it was already under federal investigation. That would be a waste of time. Patricia went hysterical when she received the notification. She called me crying, "Laura, how can you do this to me? We've been friends for 15 years. I responded with a firm voice without trembling. Friends don't consciously destroy each other's financial lives for commission. I didn't know it was a pyramid scheme. You told Marina verbatim, I know Marina, but I'm making a lot of money. I have the screenshots, I have the recording of you lying, I have the records of your commissions. You knew from day one. Silence. See you in court, Patricia. The trial happened in January 2024. Dr. Henrique was relentless. He presented all the evidence. The messages to Marina, the recording, the financial documents showing the exorbitant commissions, the contrast between the amount Patricia claimed to have invested versus the real amount. The defense lawyer tried to argue that Patricia had also been deceived by the system. Dr. Henrique destroyed that argument in 2 minutes, showing the messages where she admitted awareness of the fraud. Patricia cried on the witness stand. She begged for forgiveness. She said she needed the money because she was in debt, that she didn't think about the consequences, that she never wanted to hurt anyone. The judge had no mercy. In his sentence, he said something I'll never forget. Trust is the foundation of any civilized society. When someone consciously exploits another person's trust, especially a longtime friend for personal profit through fraud, that person doesn't deserve clemency. They deserve severe justice. Patricia was ordered to pay me $240,000. The original $94,000 plus $140,000, $6,000 in emotional damages and interest. The judge also sentenced her to 200 hours of community service and 3 years probation. Patricia didn't have $240,000. She'd spent everything she earned from the pyramid scheme on empty luxuries, clothes, trips, restaurants. She tried to appeal the sentence. She lost. In March 2024, she declared bankruptcy. Her house went to auction. Her car, repossessed. Her bank accounts frozen. I received part of the proceeds from selling her assets, about $110,000 so far. The rest will come in installments over the next few years, deducted from her salary. The most painful part wasn't the lost money. It was the destroyed friendship. 15 years of memories now contaminated by the question, was she always like this? Or did money transform her into a monster? Marina told me that Patricia is working at a supermarket, living in a tiny apartment, with no contact with anyone from her old social circle. Part of me feels sorry. Most of me feels justice. I learned 3 brutal lessons. First, never trust investments that promise returns that are too quick. Second, friendship is no shield against greed. Third, documenting everything can save your financial life. I used the recovered money to start over. I invested conservatively, as I always should have. I went back to therapy. I rebuilt my self-esteem. Because being deceived by someone so close makes you question your own judgment. Today, I'm financially stable again. I no longer have contact with Patricia. She sent me a letter asking for forgiveness. I didn't respond. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation, and some betrayals don't deserve second chances. If you're reading this and someone, even a close friend, pressures you to invest in something revolutionary. Stop, research, question, and above all, trust your instincts. Because in the end, the person who should protect your finances most is yourself. This is my story. This is my justice. Did you enjoy Laura's story? Then subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and comment where you're watching from. Oh, and there's another story waiting for you here on the screen. Click there and I'll be waiting for you.